is what I titled Heritage over Inheritance. Now, as parents, as individuals, as a group of people who are trying to pass on values to the younger ones, who are trying to pass on values to our children, to people under our tutelage, this topic is very, very important to us. So when we say the word heritage, what does that mean? And the word inheritance, what does that mean? But before I go into that, let me tell us a story. A man from Africa is known to be very wealthy. So he had 2 children, but their mother was gone. So what the man did as a way of raising his children in the proper way and all that. So he sent them abroad to have a better education and a better life and all that. So they grew up. At a point, the father was like, now that you finish your education, I need both of you to come back to Africa to continue to manage daddy's business and all that. You see, the children challenged their father and said, Daddy, we're not coming back. We love America. We like everything here. We like cold. We like everything. We're not coming back to Africa and all that. The papa said, look, the money I used to train you guys in the school, the money I used to send you abroad, I made the money from the business. So I need both of you, now that you are grown up, you finish your education, come back to Africa and manage the business. The children refused. All that the father did, all effort was to no avail, to bring them back to Africa to manage their daddy's business. Look, Dad, you need to sell off the business. We're not coming back to Africa. And they insisted. So all that their father did to bring them back, they refused and never listened and all that. So the extent that the father has to call a clergyman, a pastor, and said, look, my children are running away from me. They're running away from coming back to Africa to run the business that I've created, to run this family legacy and all that. This is what happened. So the pastor reached out to the children and spoke to them, but they refused to come back to Africa. You see, so what do we see? Something has happened. Something has happened to the children and all that. What is that all about? You know, they didn't pass on the value, the family value, legacy to the children. So the mentality the children have is a mentality of inheritance over heritage. So what is heritage? We'll be learning in this class and all that. So heritage has to do with values, the value, the long-term family values, like a legacy that as a parent you need to pass on to your children and all that. So if your family, if your children know what value, what core value is all about, I'm talking about love, character building, kindness, management of resources and all that. These are core values that as a parent you need to pass on to your children. If you don't teach them these things, and when they grow up, they're not going to appreciate nothing. They're not going to have any form of values and all that. All they'll be thinking about is inheritance. Let my father die. Let us inherit, my father's property and all that. That should not be the right mindset. But if you teach them from cradle, so when they grow old, this value will not depart from them. And when they start having their own family, they will pass on this family legacy, which is value, to their own children and all that. And it will go from generation to generation. It becomes family legacy, and it's not going to leave the family and all that. And they will be able to also teach anybody around them to be better persons. Okay, so let me start explaining to us. When we talk about inheritance, what does that mean? When we talk about heritage, what does that mean? What heritage over inheritance? Let's look at it properly, and what does it mean? Okay, the principle of heritage over inheritance is essential in building strong, value-driven family. While inheritance refers to material wealth passed down from one generation to the next, heritage represents the values, principles, tradition, and character that shape a family legacy. A family that prioritizes heritage ensures that future generations inherit wisdom and purpose along with material assets, preventing wealth from being lost due to poor stewardship. Now let's look at the key differences between the word heritage and inheritance. Number one, spiritual, moral, and intellectual legacy. You see, then when you look at it as a contrast to inheritance, material wealth, money, and property. Number two, built over generations through values and tradition, can be gained or lost in a short time. Then heritage means that it shapes identity, work ethics, and principles. Under inheritance, it can lead to entitlement if not managed wisely. Then heritage focuses on character and purpose, while inheritance focus on asset and possession. Now, how heritage strengthens family values? A parent raising children with legacy in mind. So parents who focus on heritage over inheritance instill values that shape their children's future. This includes teaching integrity, resilience, and work ethics instead of just giving financial resources. Instilling faith, wisdom, and responsibility to children. Know how to manage wealth wisely. Helping children develop a sense of purpose rather than relying on family wealth. So, for example, a father who teaches his children financial literacy, leadership, and service leaves a more lasting impact than one who simply hands them money. Now, number 2, marriage, building a relationship that passes down strong values. A couple that value heritage over inheritance builds a home centered on love, faith, and unity rather than material sources. Models commitment, communication, and sacrifice, teaching their children what a strong marriage looks like. Leaves a legacy of strong family bond, ensuring future generations prioritize relationship over riches. An example, a husband and wife who model respect and teamwork pass down a legacy of strong marriage to their children. The C, wealth and resources, teaching stewardship over spending. Family that focus on heritage over inheritance ensures that wealth is preserved and used wisely. By who? Children, teaching children financial wisdom. Instead of just giving money, they teach how to earn, invest, and give. Focus on long-term generational impact rather than short-term financial gain. Emphasizing the purpose of wealth, such as supporting education, entrepreneurship, charitable work. An example, a wealthy family that teaches their children the principle of business and giving will maintain wealth for generations, while a family that simply hands down money may see it as squandered. D, family legacy, passing down values that outlive wealth. A lasting family legacy is built by creating tradition, family meals, storytelling, and shared experience strengthen bonds. Recording family wisdom, writing books, keeping journals, or mentoring younger generation. Investing in people, not just assets, supporting the growth of family members through education, mentorship, and faith. An example, a grandmother who shares life lessons, story of resilience, and family tradition ensures that her wisdom influences great grandchildren long after she's gone. Now, number 3, let's look at practical ways to build heritage over inheritance. Number 1, pass down core value, teach honesty, hard work, faith, and responsibility. Number 2, invest in education and skill development. Prioritize knowledge over material possession. Document family history. Write down family stories, principles, and achievements. Number 4, create family tradition. Regular gathering, storytelling, and community service strengthen family bonds. Number 5, encourage work ethics over entitlement. Ensure children understand the value of earning, not just receiving. Number 6, teach financial stewardship. Teach children how to manage money wisely to preserve generational wealth. Number 7, model integrity and leadership. Action speaks louder than words. Lead by examples. It's important to pass these core values to our children so that when they grow up, this thing you taught, that this core value will not depart from them. Though they shouldn't be the children that will always be thinking about, let my father die so that I can inherit the properties of my parents. That is the wrong mentality. So everybody in the family, they are supposed to train them to be involved in creating family legacy, creating wealth for the family and all that. The children should not see their father's money as belonging to them, and the parents should not see their children's money belonging to them. Okay, there is a quote in the Bible that says, "A righteous man leaveth inheritance for his children children. And what we see today, parents want to give their children the best. Yes, giving them the best is okay, but there is something more than that. Letting them know that, look, whatever we have is our money. Whatever we have is a resource that is entrusted to us to manage at this time. So everybody should feel concerned that, okay, when we use money to pay your school fees, we are using our money. The money does not belong to that. It doesn't belong to the children. It doesn't belong to nobody and all that. Let the children understand that whatever possession, whatever resource they have, it is entrusted to them at that time to manage. So all of them must have that understanding as core value, and it must be like the family legacy that can be passed on to the next generation. Because if you don't do this is why we have problems all over the places. When children grow up, whatever they inherit, they will go and squander it and all that, and they will go back in poverty and all that. That should not be the case if we teach them strong moral values. Is teaching the children financial intelligence, give them financial literacy, let them know how money works, let them know about investment and all that, how to use money wisely instead of squandering it and all that. This is very, very important. Okay, in today's world, some children don't know the value or what the parent is doing for them, and because they have entitlement mentality, they feel that my father must do it, my mother must do it, I have the right, I'm entitled to it. No, that mentality is not good. But if they know the truth, if they have the right mindset, you give them the right value, the right training, they're not going to have that kind of mentality, and they will live responsibly. Okay, this is an expectation from everybody, from parents and all that. So thank you very much. I believe this teaching was a blessing to you. So if you like this video, please subscribe to this channel if you are watching from YouTube, and if you are watching from Facebook, please follow us for more updates. Thank you very much. Bye.